Hello, my name is Tricia Chumas. As the Education Associate for IOUG Headquarters, I would like to welcome you to today's webinar, Second Annual OpenWorld 2012 Unauthorized BI and Analytics Scoop Session. IOUG is pleased to continue our webinar programming with this informative and educational event. I'd like to introduce today's speakers. We have Dan and Tim Vlamis on the line. To begin, I'll open up with a little bit about Tim. A graduate of Yale University, is an expert in the visualization of data and the design of business intelligence dashboards. Tim combines a strong background in the application of business intelligence, analytics, and data mining with extensive experience in business modeling and valuation analysis, new product forecasting, and new business development processes and scenario analysis. Tim is an active speaker on BI.
Tricia,
Yeah.
it's Dan. Can you just jump bio? Enough on more. No, it's not more. That's fine. Enough.
Enough of Tim. All right, well, on to you, Dan. It seems here that you founded Vlamis Software Solutions in 1992. Excellent. Under Dan's leadership, Vlamis Software Solutions has become one of the most highly respected and recognized Oracle BI implementation consulting firms in America. Dan is recognized by Oracle as an Oracle Ace and has been a beta tester of numerous Oracle product releases, including OBIEE 11G, and maintains long-standing personal relationships with Oracle product managers in the business intelligence database.
That's out there.
Don't be that impressed with him. I'm not. So.
Well, thanks, Tricia. Enough of the intro stuff. We're going to jump right into things. Sorry, I made that rude, but it seems like we had the long version. Did you send those bios?
I sent them.
They're small. All right. Do you have anything else from an intro standpoint, Tricia? Sorry to cut you off.
No, that's quite all right. Just to give a reminder to the audience to use the chat function to send in questions, and we'll be taking those during the event and then holding any outstanding ones till after. So the floor is now yours.
Thanks, Tricia. So you're going to find folks that are regulars of BWA TechCasts. You're going to find today's a little bit different. We're going to take a little more lighthearted approach towards what happened and in some cases didn't happen at Oracle OpenWorld. This is Dan, so you can get voices.
And this is Tim. And we're going to give you our take on things, and we are very interested in your take because for sure it will be different than ours. We had different takes on different things. We're interested in you guys disagreeing and correcting us because we're sure we got some things wrong or misheard or misunderstood or whatnot. So lob the comments and corrections in, please.
Let us know what we missed. All right, so we got to at least give a couple plugs on something. The BWA Summit 2013 is coming up January 9th through 10th in Redwood Shores. For those that don't know, right outside of Oracle headquarters. At the Hotel Sofitel. You can get, on a serious note, the call for speakers is open right now, and you can go to www.bwasummit.org for more information on that, and you can also submit your abstracts for that upcoming conference. We'll focus on business intelligence, warehousing, and analytics. We'd love to have you submit that. Also, just in case you do want to know a little bit about Vlamis Software, this is our typical marketing slide that we put at the beginning of all the presentations. One thing is you may be interested in the test drive program where you can try out the Oracle's BI products and other products for free. You get an instance dedicated. There's the URL, vlamis.com. You can get it off of our homepage. With that, let me go ahead and just give our standard disclaimer slide. This is at the beginning of all of the Oracle OpenWorld presentations. The following is, I'll let Tim read it. Go ahead.
The following is our interpretation of some events at Oracle OpenWorld. It is intended for information purposes only and may not be incorporated into any contract. It is not a commitment in any way. We actually don't even believe what we are going to present anyway. If you really want to know what happened at Oracle OpenWorld, you should just go yourself. The development, release, and timing of any features or functionality described for Oracle's products remains at the sole discretion of Oracle.
Thank you, Tim.
Yes.
With that, go ahead.
It was hot.
I don't know what it was. At the beginning of Oracle OpenWorld, it was hot. Towards the end, it was cold. I'm used to being cold at Oracle OpenWorld. You're right. I was walking around, and it was hot the entire time, it seems. So
Sweaty hot.
Yep.
Uncomfortable, sweaty hot.
I agree. All right. So this conference took place, for those who don't know, at the end of September through October 4th, and it was good. The disappointing thing I would say from the conference is Larry behaved himself.
Yeah, it was disappointing.
I know. He didn't diss anybody.
Well, a little bit, but not like last year, not like the year before.
A lot more fun going to the keynotes there.
I know.
Just like previous years that they've done recently, Larry spoke on Sunday so that he didn't pre-announce. By the way, for those of you that are tuning in from Oracle Corporation, I assume you know this. For those that don't, you can't pre-announce anything before Larry.
Can't scoop Larry.
That is a fireable offense at Oracle. So the folks at Oracle finally got smart and put Larry on Sunday evening, so that he could do his big announcements and talk about that stuff. Anyway, even before that, Sunday was a good showing for Oracle BI. Talked about stuff. Mark Rittman, for those who don't know, talked about he launched his OBIE book.
Yes, but
finally.
But Sunday was literally the Mark Rittman show.
Yeah, it's good.
So I think he had, I don't know, 27 presentations?
Something like that. Something like ungodly number of presentations from Mark and other people at Rittman Mead.
No, and he nailed them all.
It was good.
I know.
I know. So seriously, just Google out there Mark Rittman's OBIE book. It's a great book. We have a review of it on our website, and it's good
for
stuff.
Mark.
Anyway, let's see. Then that was most of Sunday. I think Mark gave all the presentations.
Yeah.
So that went well. Some of the other stuff is that they talked about then Larry had big announcements in his presentation, and he had them all stacked up on Sundays. Anything else before we go on to that?
No, I think we should talk about Larry's big announcements.
All right. So this is the video on the official video.
Before you start the video will likely be choppy for those of you watching on the webcast, a la Max Headroom, for those of you who remember Max Headroom. So we'll go ahead.
All right, so this is the official summary, just so you can see. Then we'll give our commentary on this, but we wanted to give Oracle first dibs, first crack at what the important stuff was. We'll share the URL some other time.
Larry made 3 big announcements. First, Oracle Cloud, all 3 layers: software, platform, infrastructure. For software, you've got Oracle CRM, HCM, and ERP. For platform, you get the #1 database, the #1 middleware, and the #1 development platform in Java. What's new? Infrastructure. Operating system, virtual machine, compute and storage services. Next, Oracle Cloud flexibility and choice. You can run your CRM and HCM on our cloud or behind your firewall on an Oracle-managed private cloud. It's your choice. And finally, Oracle Exadata X3. Larry calls it the database in-memory machine. Let's take a look under the hood. There's 26 terabytes of DRAM and flash memory with compression rates of up to 10x. Suddenly, you can run a database of up to 220 terabytes entirely in memory. So extreme performance is the key phrase, along with efficiency. With far less conventional storage required, there's lower upfront costs, plus long-term energy savings. So that's a quick summary of Larry Ellison's opening keynote. Who knows what he'll say in his next keynote Tuesday night? Stay tuned.
Oh, I think I like this guy. He's very emphatic, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to be from Redwood Shores, don't you think?
I think so.
I mean, he's taking lessons. It's great.
I wanted to know about the people walking around in the background, whether they knew that they were going to be projected up on the internet and everything.
I don't know.
All right. So
well, we all signed releases when we went in.
Actually, it's true. We did. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah.
All right. So now let me give you a sense of, for those that were there, what we ran into when we were looking at stuff. This is our you know, anyway, if you don't know, you can actually get from the Oracle website. If you go to oracle.com/openworld, and we'll share that when we share these slides on this, where you can get at all of these videos so you can see them yourself. I downloaded them so I could play them and jump ahead to various things. You don't want me to play the entire 50 minutes of Larry's keynote. So I picked out the stuff from my standpoint that were the major things. So let me just fast forward here.
You don't get the boat?
I did
like
not
the boat.
include, I know.
But the boat's my favorite part of Larry's keynote. It's the music and the excitement. It gets your blood flowing. It's like, it's all about,
I know.
Anyway.
But the other thing is, they crank the volume in Moscone when they do that. It's like, oh my gosh, and then he gets up and talks. Actually, they have the volume reasonable at that point, but the boat intro is just too much. If you want to see it, it's last year. We have the recording up on our website.
I know.
You can watch our scoop session from last year.
Oh,
Okay?
All right.
All right, so here's Larry talking about his first big announcement, which is about infrastructure as a service as part of the cloud. And so those who don't know, just to set this up, set up this clip, last year Larry talked about Oracle Cloud. And frankly, for a year, nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
I signed up on all the lists. I got the emails, and nothing occurred. And so now they're talking about it as part of 12C.
Yeah.
You hear about infrastructure as a cloud.
A lot of his interesting comments in the past were about the cloud and how we talked about it. But now it's, anyway.
He worked around that.
He worked around I know.
I know. Here's Larry.
So today, the first of 4 major announcements I'm going to make today. Today, we are announcing that the Oracle Cloud is offering infrastructure as a service as part of our cloud offering. Because our customers who are running our SaaS applications and our customers who are running our platform services that said they need, in addition to those 2 things, they need to run certain kinds of custom applications and move some of their existing applications onto the cloud as well. And the only way we can do that, the only way we can accommodate that is to offer infrastructure as a service in addition to SaaS and PaaS.
All right, so that's the first clip. Infrastructure is part of the service of the cloud. The concept here is Oracle being able to get at any of the Oracle services, whether it be the high-level services like running Oracle applications, or the low-level services such as the tools or the database, all on the cloud. You can connect up to their service. Actually, it sounds interesting. I'll be interested to see when it finally is a reality. As I talked to various people afterwards, it was a little bit of, yeah, it's coming. Larry wants to make the big announcement. We'll see. You'll see as we go through this.
I think it's a pretty compelling strategy. I think it is coming. And
I think so.
Things are moving there, but it's, anyway.
So then they're relying on a new version of the database for this as well. One of the things that comes up is whether you can do the cloud, run on the cloud as what if you were inside your own firewall and you need to not be able to outsource that because of government regulations or something like that. Larry has an answer for that. I'm not sure exactly where this is totally different because in all of this, you know, the cloud is just running Oracle like you're running Oracle, and that's what Larry was always saying. But he's found the light now. He has religion, and he believes in clouds. So let's hear what he has about to say about running it as a choice.
So today we're announcing the Oracle Private Cloud, an extension to the Oracle Cloud behind your firewall. Again, it's exactly the same as if you buy the infrastructure in our data center. We own it, we manage it, we upgrade it, you pay a monthly fee and you only pay for what you use.
Yeah.
And we actually install, when we make an installation, we work with you trying to estimate the amount of usage, and we install excess capacity beyond that estimate. Announcement number 2, the Oracle Private Cloud.
Excellent.
Did it seem like he was waiting for applause there?
He was waiting for applause, and he's perhaps looking at the Salesforce asking for applause.
I think
but
so.
But the comp plan isn't clear, probably.
I think so. Maybe that's why they didn't applaud. Or maybe the guy just didn't get the applause sign turned on.
I don't know. But there was a lot about cloud. Private clouds, semi-private clouds.
Yep.
All kinds of clouds.
Cloud clusters.
Cloud clusters, yeah.
I like cumulonimbus clouds.
You like cumulonimbus.
My favorite.
I like those clouds, too. Nice, puffy clouds.
All right. So the other big announcement, and what I found interesting on this was that were you listening when we played the wrap up before Oracle's official announcement? When they said here's the summary of what Larry talked about.
Yeah.
They forgot this one.
Uh-oh.
They didn't talk about the Oracle database 12c.
Yeah.
So they left out one of his announcements. So in interest of letting the audience know about this, this is his other big announcement, the next version of the database, 12c. So here it comes, and I've got actually 2 clips on this.
It does have implications for BI and analytics for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh-oh. Come back, Larry.
Announcement number 3. What we offer in the cloud is about to get better, a lot better, with the new version of our database. We've taken more than 4 years to develop this new version of our database. Oracle 12c, you might guess the C is for cloud. It is the first multi-tenant database in the world. Spontaneous applause. That's great. Thank you.
Yes.
Database is always one of our strong suits.
Okay. So there's their new version of Oracle Database 12c. Really, the whole thing was talking about how 12c as a database could service multiple instances within one database. That's, interestingly enough, the only big thing they really talked about on 12c.
Yeah.
So let me play some details on that, so you can see. This will become important for those that want to do, for instance, you can see on the slide, ERP, CRM, and data warehouse, all under the same database, and for running, in our case, analytics type of applications.
But that's the way it's been. That's the way it's been until, I guess, according to what was on the thing on the screen before I got over, until 2013 when we're going to deliver 12c.
So that's when we know it's going to come out.
Yeah.
2013. I thought he said earlier in other sessions it's going to come out before the end of the year. Apparently they're trying to make sure that he says it's 2013. Got to adhere to those safe harbor statements.
Yes, very important. And revenue recognition.
Rev rec rules.
Yes.
All that type of stuff.
But he did advance his own slides this year.
He did.
He made several comments about it. He was, so that was, I thought that was great.
All right, I got a few more details on 12c. So I'll let this run.
But with Oracle 12c, we have a fundamentally new architecture. And we introduced the notion of a container database. And that container will then hold some number of separate pluggable databases. But it's a single database. You have one database. You have one dedicated set of memory, one set of operating system processes, and then you can plug multiple separate private databases into that single container. So the database management system is responsible for keeping those databases separate and private and secure, not an application, but the underlying database technology is responsible for the multi-tenancy.
Okay, so that's what's different about it. Yeah. Rather than application doing this, they're having the database actually control multiple databases so you can collapse multiple instances onto one database. and they're all getting ready. Hopefully you can see that this is why it's important with the cloud technology, that the database can be running multiple databases. And gee, don't you think this is what Oracle is going to do inside their own cloud architecture? So I see 12c as a database as being important, especially to Oracle itself, so that they can supply the cloud services, and for that matter, obviously, to companies that want to implement it that way.
Yeah, no, well, it's just, can you imagine asking the client DBA to bounce the instance when he's running 12c and then he's like, well, which services and which?
There was little detail on that.
Yeah, I don't quite know how we're going to figure all that out. That's all. It's just.
Well, Oracle says not a problem, because actually I was in sessions where they asked how is that going to work, and can you run different versions in the same container database that Larry talked about? And the answer is, oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure. We'll see when it actually comes out.
Yeah.
All right. So the other big announcement was on a new Exadata box. Oracle believes everybody should have an Exadata box, and they announced their biggest, newest Exadata box with an ungodly amount of RAM, 4 terabytes of DRAM, and 22 terabytes of flash memory on this. So, and by the way, on this, they also said that that will be at the same price as an Exadata X2. So it's actually kind of cool. So I'll let Larry do his announcement thing. I don't want to scoop him.
Bigger and faster.
Right. Here he comes.
The hardware foundation. This is my fourth and last major announcement of this presentation. The hardware foundation of the Oracle Cloud is Exadata version 3, X3. Database in-memory machine. If you thought the old Exadatas were fast, you ain't seen nothing yet. Exadata X3 is designed to store your database. No, all your databases. All your databases in memory. Everything is in memory. A single rack, a single Exadata X3 rack, has 26 terabytes of memory. 4 terabytes of DRAM, 22 terabytes of flash memory. You can store, then we compress it, we compress the data by a factor of 10. So in terms of user data, we store in a single rack 220 terabytes of your data in a single X3 rack. That's an astonishing number in memory.
That's big.
Now pause there. This is the thing that Oracle is combating here is the in-memory databases.
Yes.
And he actually points them out. I don't have the clip on it, but he talks about pointing out specifically HANA and how they're competing with that. And so the whole idea is putting so much memory in this is to compete with those. And actually, he's right. 26 terabytes is an ungodly amount of memory. You load the whole thing in memory just about. And he goes on to say that the disk is almost not important on there anymore. Everything gets loaded into memory, and you run out of memory instead about a disk. So, yeah, it should be real fast on this. So
big and fast.
Big and fast, and at the same price.
And at the same price.
By the way, another thing, I don't have the clip on it, is that they also have a writable cache instead of just being read-only cache, and they're making that available to the X2 customers as well as a software-only upgrade. It sounds like you just move up to the latest version. He didn't promise it, but it sounded like no cost, and you can have that available for the X2 customers. Although I must add, you know, if I was a customer that had the X2 with Oracle selling hardware all the time now, you're kind of like, well, I just bought my brand spanking new X2. I want an X3 instead.
Call your favorite Oracle rep.
I'm sure he'll have a deal for you. All right, and then the last one, this didn't get talked about this much, but I think it's kind of cool. They talked about a Exadata 8th rack that they can make available as well. And I love the comments about the sales price on this. So I'll play this. This is my last clip, by the way.
And now we have an Exadata, a new member of the Exadata family, the Exadata X3-2 8th rack. That's our smallest configuration with an entry, with a list price of $200,000. I bet if you talk to an Oracle salesman, you can get a better price than that. I know these guys and gals, and they're always ready to deal. So the street price is lower than the list price, but that's very, very attractive. And this thing is extremely fast. It has all of the Exadata features, lots of flash, runs extremely fast. Can replace a pretty big IBM server with this Exadata machine.
All right, so I especially like the laugh. And the joke about the salespeople. So 200 grand gets you in an Exadata 8th rack. I think he put up the price also on the X3. It's somewhere over $1 million for the Exadata X3 full rack. So you can do the math on that.
Yeah. Maybe they'll do a Groupon.
Yeah, I think in May. Groupon. Oracle always deals in May or April. Actually, as you get closer to the end of May, they start getting real nervous and they say we can't even push it through anymore. But,
yeah,
try your Groupon in late April/May.
Okay.
That might make a difference. So that's what we have for Larry and his big announcements. You know, interesting enough, last year we did more on talking about the big announcements in VI.
Yeah.
There wasn't as much this year.
Not as much. Well,
because they had the Exalytics big announcement last year.
Yeah, the excellent, but also they had Endeca this year, and Endeca was everywhere.
It was.
It was right in the lobby of Moscone North. So.
Yeah. So for those that weren't there, Endeca was talked about a great deal. Indeed, I went to go grab a video clip from the demo of Endeca and its integration with OBIEE. So I figured I'd show some of the OBIEE stuff and what's new in that. There are, by the way, it's not like they haven't done anything.
No,
there's some new visualizations, trellis charts. On our website, we have more stuff on that. But that was already announced before Oracle OpenWorld. There was not a big announcement on that. They did talk about an upcoming release, 11.117 of Oracle BI and some new features in that, but not a whole lot of details. I think that people were under more of a gag order in talking too much about futures. They didn't have as much on that. I did look for a demo of the OBIEE and Endeca, but what I found was the demo was really just of Endeca itself. So if I come back here and go through it, by the way, here's our timings on these if you want to look at those announcements and the clips that we ended up showing on those. That's where they are.
Toyoki-san.
I'm sorry, I just about forgot him.
No, you can't forget. He's part of my favorite, lineup speaker. I mean, he was great, and he had lots of guest speakers, which is the best part of his presentation. Was
all right. So here's Toyoki-san.
Yeah, by him.
Now with the enormous amount of unstructured data collected from our daily life, the term big data is attracting a great deal of attention. Fujitsu's focus in this area is to understand what knowledge and value is created by big data and how that knowledge and value can support people. The way big data is used must be a key factor for any business. And
all right. I had a hard time following him as I was listening.
Yeah,
and it's kind of the warm-up act for Larry's talk on Tuesday. Larry moved to Tuesday instead of Wednesday. But I had a hard time following it. I don't know.
No, but they had nice, subscripts for the Japanese videos, which made it easy to, for those of us who don't speak Japanese fluently. I think there's more coming with.
It's interesting. I don't know the clip of it, but Larry made an announcement at the very beginning of his keynote that there was more coming from Fujitsu, and he promised that next year this would be on that technology. Now, you almost wonder if,
I know.
since they did not highlight any of that, was that a mistake? Was Larry not supposed to talk about that?
I don't
know. Is that
know.
a forward-looking statement?
It may have been a forward-looking statement.
All right.
We can't rely on those.
I agree, because we have the disclaimer at
Yes.
the very beginning. I agree.
It was very interesting, though.
So anyway,
You know,
he did better this year than he did last year.
I agree.
To Toyoki-san. All right.
Oh, yeah, he was great.
So all right. So then back PowerPoint. The rather than showing you a clip of the Endeca stuff. By the way, in all seriousness, do look at that technology.
Yeah.
It was very cool. This is in Mark Hurd's keynote. He talked about Endeca, but I found that I couldn't encapsulate it down to a short enough video clip to show what's going on. I just did want to show a couple screen captures. There's this whole storyline of what's taking place in Chicago with various, with the police department, and it's very cool what they're doing with social media and trying to encapsulate what the sentiment is taking place during the event and how they figure out where the hot spots are of demonstrations and all that type of stuff taking place in Chicago with the maps.
I think it was NATO Summit or something
Yeah,
like that.
NATO Summit.
Yeah, it was very cool.
All right, so that's what we had on the Balaji demo for that. And then what else did you think in terms of for looking at Oracle OpenWorld? What other stuff was important?
Well, I think it's important that Louis Negoti joined the Endeca team.
I agree.
Louis is a pretty savvy guy, and if he's part of that team, then you got to pay attention to it, right?
I like the comment. Bet on the horse. Bet on the jockey, not the horse.
Bet on the jockey, not on the horse. I like that too. Yeah, I agree.
So there was also a lot they talked about advanced analytics during it.
A lot of analytics. Now they're doing predictive analytics. There's a lot of part of the Fusion apps, the iApps. So there was a lot of excitement about Oracle R Enterprise.
Yeah.
And a lot of discussion of Oracle R Enterprise, and that's something that is, people who are into the big data message. And there were many slides on big data. Volume, velocity, and variety, and value. I mean, it was that was Oracle.
The 4 V's in.
You get the 4 V's in. I think there were what, 8 slides.
I think they kept on using the same slides, didn't they?
Same slides, Anyway, but they were good. I mean, But definitely talking big data, talking about how to leverage that data. And then everybody went immediately to the data connector and for Hadoop and Oracle R Enterprise for some of the data mining.
Well, you know what I found interesting on that was that Oracle data mining is a very powerful engine for doing analytics in the database.
Yes.
It seems like the reps have heard that story, the marketing department have heard that story, so they didn't want to talk about it as much. But then the R is the new thing, so that's what they talk about.
So it's new and shiny and new.
Now, they're both bundled together, if you don't know, in something called the Advanced Analytics option of the Oracle database. So I think that's an attempt to not make them, if you will, compete against each other. When you buy one, you get the other as well. But Charlie Berger is soldiering on, putting the data mining capabilities into a lot of Oracle's applications. And I think that's where you're going to see a lot of the stuff being used is in the apps themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
So there were presentations doing that.
We'll see how well, that community learns data mining and learns to tune and work with, the data mining processes and algorithms and whatnot. I wasn't blown away, to be honest with you, by the technical discussion of predictive analytics in the apps. I went to several apps sessions.
Now, wait a minute. You told me you thought that them putting in predictive analytics in the apps was way cool.
It is way cool.
Good. Good.
It's very exciting, very cool, very, very good. I'm just saying they haven't necessarily come up to speed in terms of how to implement it and adopt it and extend it, right?
Oh, so the technology is cool. What they're doing is cool. They just don't understand what they have.
Right.
Don't understand what you have.
Yeah. I guess that's right. But
okay, cool.
Anyway, it is exciting. I would say that in terms of looking at Oracle data mining and Oracle R Enterprise, probably the best session I heard was Husnu Sensoy. He was on. He's a fellow, Dan, from Turkey.
Oh,
that's doing a lot of the telecom work. And what he was basically explaining was using R as more of a data exploration, do your initial work, look at the data, and then move your processes, your analytical processes into the database and use Oracle data mining to, in essence, proceduralize or production, put it into production. So his take on, if you guys can, we'll try and put up a link to his presentation.
Yeah.
I found it very compelling, very insightful, and his was one of the best understandings of how these two technologies work together.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, and it was actually, I found that many of the presentations were a lot of marketing hype. Sounds like for that one, I didn't get to go to the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
But this one had some real technical meat. The other one that I went to was a spatial presentation taking place on Monday night in the Marriott basement. This presentation was at, what, 7:15?
Yeah. It was
at night. And it's kind of like, okay, do I go to dinner or go to a presentation? Actually, I was shocked at how many people were there. Some of these people are diehards. I guess what does that say about us? But anyway, we went to that, and that was a great presentation on what the spatial capabilities were.
Yeah, I agree. Just, do you think John Sharma looks a little bit like Omar Sharif? I think he does. I think he was very.
So I hadn't thought of it that way. That's cool.
So it was this hot kind of warm basement thing, and then giants there holding court. It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Anyway.
The whole, and getting to see the whole spatial group on there and what they're doing.
Yeah, it was
custom Java applications, and then, by the way, if those don't know, you can incorporate those into Oracle BI implementations as well with the maps. Nokia was there.
Yeah.
In full force, had their announcement about working with Oracle.
Yes.
On spatial stuff.
The NLP, the new service. Yes, very exciting.
We'll have more about that on a blog and a website. So it was one of the announcements out there. It was the NLP service for integrating maps into OBIE without having to load the spatial data onto your own server. Use it as a service.
It's pretty sexy stuff.
Yeah. So then the other thing, we had our regular reception on Tuesday evening.
Right.
We had a bunch of Oracle people, and we were kind of lucky to get people to show up. They're pretty full going from the reception.
Dance cards are full.
Yes, dance cards were full. It's a matter of inviting them to come out, and that was good.
No, and that's a big part of OpenWorld. The OpenWorld experience is going to cocktail receptions in the evening and standing around and having a few beers and talking with people. And it's actually some of the better, I would say, it's networking and it's content and it's interesting and you hear things. And I think that's part of the draw is to be in the community and to participate in those events.
You know, I hear from some people that it's all about the parties, and I think that puts the wrong spin on it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there's drinks there. But there's good business value to those things as well as we go through
Agreed.
the events in the evening. All right, so then they have Exalytics was talked about in terms of working with Exadata, changing data warehousing, fast, big data, all that type of stuff. I don't know. I heard a lot about that in the conference. So.
Well, it's just evolving fast, and big data is big. And there were many slides about how many quadrillion, gazillion bytes of data are generated every second on the planet. And, you know, it's pretty overwhelming in terms of how do you actually use it? How do you integrate it? How do you conceptualize it? How do you draw insight from it? It's a big challenge.
So,
not as much on that.
Yeah, I would agree. So there was a lot of talking about that, but then you know, I think those in the audience, if you have any comments on that, and if you all can explain Hadoop to me, go ahead and chat that in the log, and we'll share that with the rest of the audience. seems like they're still getting that message put together.
Yeah.
You want to try and explain that?
Well, not in the 10 minutes we have left.
All right, fair enough.
Key value pairs.
Key value pairs.
That's what you need to know.
Oh, it was an index. Okay, that's fine. We'll try and not do that in the middle of this. All right, so they did find, I also, as I looked at the various analytic applications in those sessions, OBI was present in all of them. That is firmly entrenched for the future, that that's going to be the display mechanism for showing business intelligence data, although that's true this year. I will be very interested next year to see how many of the applications have Endeca boiled into them.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So they're talking about bringing Endeca search capabilities into OBI, right? But in terms of bringing Endeca visualizations in, it's not as clear. And how they integrate, you know, an Endeca data model with an OBI, you know, RPD file, that is not clear at all. So we'll see how it evolves. Yeah, you know, like you said earlier, bet on the jockey, not on the horse. It's pretty interesting what, you know, what's going on with the technology. But I think it's also clear that OBI is around for a very, very long time.
Well, indeed, I pinned down a product manager on this.
Okay.
Because one of the things I found was Endeca is talked about as being unstructured and structured data.
Semi-structured also.
And semi-structured.
Yes.
And they're very clear to make it available. They say that that's the platform for all three. They talk about OBI being structured data.
Yes.
And so you kind of like, I was left with the impression originally, this was back earlier, months ago, looking and saying, well, then is Endeca going to be the user interface? Because that handles all of them. And so no. They're going with OBI. They're not replacing that. I think what you're going to find is some of the user interface ideas get incorporated into OBI.
Interesting.
And you'll see these things come together because clearly people are going to want capabilities of both products in dashboards.
Yep.
That's what I think is going to happen. I didn't hear that directly from product management, so don't quote me on that. But in terms of them coming together, absolutely, they're going to be part of the Exalytics box. They're going to put this all together.
Well, they're extending OBI visualizations also with trellis charts.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Stephen Pugh can now say something nice about OBI.
But,
we'll see.
Now that we have Sparklines, and he loves Sparklines.
Yes, he does. Yes.
So maybe he will say that. That's the 11.1162 release of that. But then also, I know that they're going to come out with more in the way of visualizations. Some of the talk was about trying to beef up the visualization capabilities, a topic near and dear to our hearts, in terms of having OBI have more flexibility in the visualizations. And I think you'll see that type of stuff in upcoming releases of Oracle BI. In some ways, it's important, certainly from an analysis standpoint. It's also important from a competing in the marketplace standpoint. There are times when people want to see the data in a certain way, and it doesn't matter whether it's the right way. It's what that high-power executive, he got in his idea. He wanted to see a certain type of visualization.
We don't. That's not because it's just frustrating. It's frustrating. So
right. I agree.
But the swag was pretty good this year.
Yeah.
I like my alumni jacket. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And
I didn't get one.
You didn't get one?
I think because my registration was on, then off, then back on. I think I got kicked out of the queue.
You missed some good swag.
Did you get the any other swag from?
Nice bag. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice bottle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the booths had good swag.
Did you see the store where they were selling this stuff?
The container store.
Container store?
I saw. I bought a second jacket. I bought an Oracle racing jacket in the container store. Yes.
The container store. You mean the one up the street from?
No. The store in the container. Very cool. Very.
Oh, the shipping container.
The shipping container. The store in the shipping container.
But, yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're right. I forgot about that.
I think it was only about $2,000
for the jacket.
For the jacket, yeah.
Yeah. They actually brought a container, one of those shipping containers like comes across the Pacific Ocean. there was a store inside one of those containers.
Very cool.
Right outside of Moscone.
I cannot go in there and spend $2,000. You have to. Just don't tell my wife.
Yeah?
I told her they were both free, so.
Oh, $2,000 a jacket, you ought to put that up on your wall.
I think that's what I'm going to do, frame it and put it on the wall.
Put it on the wall?
My man cave, yeah.
All right, cool, cool, cool. Very sexy.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. What else did you see at the conference? Let's see. Anything else that you want to share?
No, I think I'm interested to hear what everybody, well, the Java world, the Java Life rap video was playing everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And that got it in my head, and I kind of love that thing. That makes me want to program Java,
Find that.
Yeah.
I can't find it
anyway.
fast enough. All right. Well, anyway, that Java, there was a,
and plus our hotel was near the Java hangout place, so we got to hear.
Well, there was that the couches that are on the street that you can hang out at and get a beer after the day. Yeah. And they closed down multiple streets. It must have been a real traffic snarl for San Francisco, because you could go there and they basically take over the entire downtown for that.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's cool. I mean, I think Oracle Open World had a very positive vibe this year.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and quite frankly, people in the community that were not there, in the technology community, were very positive about it as well, which I found pretty interesting. I talked with
you talked to people on the street?
I had a couple of meetings. I talked with this one guy who's got a new visualization social media thing called Talkwheel.
Uh-huh.
I think he's being courted by all the the big wig VCs in the Valley now.
Right.
So early 20s, very hip, very cool, very sexy product, social media stuff, right?
Right.
And he was positive on Oracle. And I was kind of shocked.
20-something?
Yeah, he's like 24, 23. I don't know. He's doing a startup.
Okay.
And he's going to make it.
Cool.
Positive about Oracle. I don't get it, but,
Oh, they're doing something right.
They're doing, yeah.
Cool.
So, all in all, I thought it was a very, very well-run, smooth, not as busy, not as chaotic open world.
I think they did a better job of spreading people out, if you will, of the different venues.
Yeah.
So it made it so that the column of people between Moscone South and Moscone West, that you could actually walk through that. The same guy who was out there with the shouting, with the Bible, telling everybody they're gonna burn forever in eternity. He was out there doing his thing, doing his shtick. But you could actually get between the buildings this year.
Yes.
I don't know. I didn't hear as much. Did you hear anything in terms of specific statistics on how many people attended or anything?
It was like 40,000, 50,000.
Something like that. But I think it just seemed
the cab
like,
told us there were more for the Salesforce convention.
I know, that was funny.
That was funny.
2 weeks
the cabbie
before?
was full of local knowledge.
About
the tech world.
Yep.
So, well, I think that.
Any comments? Let's see. We do have a chat in there that you can register for tomorrow's webinar, Exadata X3, the 4th generation. There's a link that should appear if you open up your chat window. I'm also going to put a chat in here about the upcoming our upcoming DWA Summit, and just point out that you can.
The croissants are excellent at the Sofitel, if you don't know. So,
all right. So here, DWASummit.org.
It's worth going there just for the croissants, man. But seriously, the orange juice and the croissants are just like out of this world good.
So go to the DWA Summit, and you can try that out. Also, we're looking for call for speakers. Anything else before we wrap up? Tricia, I'll turn things over to you.
Okay, excellent. I'm actually just going to send this link out to the audience so they have for the BWA 2013 Summit. But other than that, thank you, Tim and Dan, for your time. That was excellent, very entertaining. And thank you for your time. I know Dan has been a a frequent speaker, so it's always good to have you, Dan. Also make note, you guys can visit www.ioug.org for a list of upcoming online events. There's a registrations link on the site, so you can register directly from there. But other than that, I'd like to wish you all a pleasant evening, and we hope to see you again on our future events.
Thank you.
You.
Thanks. Bye.